Hello everyone. Welcome to another part of the KyouHaba parenting storyline. Finally we are moving forward again and it's going to be fun. As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who still watch my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with the uploads and check out the members only posts. Shigeru felt faint. The closer they got to the building, the harder his heart hammered into his ribs and knees grew weaker under him. And here he thought he could never be more nervous than when he went to tell his parents he was going low contact with them for the sake of his relationship with Kentaro and his mental stability. However, unlike back then, he now had his husband by his side, squeezing his hand and offering silent support whenever his step wavered. It was pathetic of him, but he couldn't help it. He had no doubts about their decision being the right one, but the road ahead of them was long, and it scared him.
Don't forget to breathe, love.
What?
Breathe. Your lips are turning blue.
Shigeru froze, his hand automatically shooting to his mouth. Wait, really? Kentaro gave him a soft smile before caressing the back of his hand with his thumb.
No, but you shouldn't hold your breath so much. What am I going to do if you faint on me here?
Oh, sorry. I don't know what's happening today. I was so sure of everything yesterday and now when it's so close, it's all gone.
You're just nervous now that it's actually happening. That's normal.
He stopped and pulled Shigeru into a hug, the contact immediately melting the cold creeping around Shigeru's heart.
It's going to be alright. Sure, it will be a big change and not everything will be perfect on day one, but it's fine. Just be you and trust your instincts,
Shivering a little, Shigeru hid deeper into Kentaro's arms, borrowing all the warmth and strength he could. Where Kentaro took all this faith he had in him, he wasn't sure, but he would be damned if he disappointed him. And so he took a few deep breaths before finally pulling away a little. New determination settled on his mind. He could do this. Maybe he didn't have the best example of family life growing up, but he had been around the Kyotani family for long enough to learn some things. Sure, it was different than having a child of their own, but it was a solid start. Alright.
There's the Shigeru I know.
The hallway felt perhaps even longer than the first time they walked to the designated room. But strangely enough, a certain urge grew in Shigeru's chest now, an urge to speed up to knock on the door as soon as possible. If he didn't know better, he might even call it excitement. Although that wasn't a bad thing, right? After all, he wanted to have children with Kentaro, and despite all his worries, he was looking forward to seeing Kentaro being a father. Even if just a stepfather of sort. They stopped in front of the door, Kentaro squeezing his hand one more time.
All good?
Taking a deep breath, Shigeru nodded, his heart much calmer now. Yeah. He took the opportunity to knock on the door, his heartbeat speeding up again when the call from inside invited them in. They were welcomed by the same ocean theme on the walls with all the cutesy animals, but more importantly, by the same social worker, now holding Aiko in her arms. Kentaro's face brightened immediately, and it wasn't difficult to guess why, since the little girl was dressed in the cutest dress with bows and frills, the color of it going perfectly with her blue eyes, so atypical for the Kyotani family. Hi, welcome. We were just about to go meet you halfway. Aiko cooed as if in agreement, and Shigeru found himself melting like snow.
Sorry, someone was too impatient to meet up again and dragged me here real fast.
Huh?
Kentaro grinned at him, chasing heat into his cheeks.
Did I?
It's fine, right?
Of course. It actually makes me really happy to see you are looking forward to having Aiko.
He looks excited, alright?
He let go of Shigeru's hand to take Aiko in his arms, earning a soft blubber from her.
Hey sweetie, ready to go home? Bet you are. You have an ocean-themed room home too now. Papa painted it for you.
Really? That's so nice of you.
Oh no, not me. I'm horrible at art. My husband did.
Shigeru stammered, his mind short-circuiting for a moment, both from being called Papa and husband in front of someone outside their usual circle. It was a silly sentiment, he knew that, considering Kentaro already told the woman they were married, but perhaps it was the nerves from the current situation that made it so much more impactful. I see. I bet it looks amazing. Right, can I ask you to sign the final document? So we don't prolong things unnecessarily. Of course.
You heard that, Aiko? You'll be going home soon.
The little girl blabbered something again before she was too preoccupied by exploring Kentaro's face. Fortunately, it seemed that the car seat they bought was the correct one, meaning they didn't have to worry about the stroller and bag carrier being too small either. One worry gone, that's nice. However, there were still enough worries on his mind to make him tap his foot as they carefully cruised through the morning traffic back home, the urge to look over his shoulder to check on Aiko every minute only growing the more he tried to fight it. Kentaro had to notice his restlessness as his hand hadn't left Shigeru's thigh since they left the parking lot, providing a much-needed grounding point. Yet, I should have sat in the back. Just to be sure. You know that everything is alright.
You checked that seat and seatbelts 10 times before we headed out. It's alright.
He nodded to the rear mirror. A soft smile settled on his lips.
He looks happy there, don't worry.
He squeezed Shigeru's thigh again, his eyes on the road, but the smile aimed at him.
Relax, everything is fine. We'll get home soon and then have a first proper day as a family.
Family. It sounded so alien and yet beautiful at the same time. A promise of something Shigeru used to be sure he would never have. It was tainted by tragedy, he hadn't forgotten about that. But the most important thing now was to give Aiko a warm home where she could grow up content and safe. And looking at Kentaro and the way he played with her earlier, he knew the base of that promise was solid. He just had to catch up. Unable to help himself, he turned to see on the back seat, a smile of his own curling his lips upon seeing Aiko contentedly chewing on one of her toys they got from the social worker. It's fine. It's probably going to be a bit bumpy at the beginning, but it's fine. Nothing to worry about. He took it upon himself to take Aiko from the car seat and carry her inside the house, both to properly learn how to do that and to let Aiko get used to him too. She looked a bit confused if he could judge, looking around as if looking for Kentaro before she was focused on her toy again. But the little moment told Shigeru more than if she spoke. Of course she's more inclined to her actual family. And this is the first time you actually picked her up too.
Everything okay?
Yeah, sorry. I was checking if we have everything.
Don't worry about that, I got it.
He tapped on the bag where the rest of Aiko's things were. Clothes, pacifiers and bottles. Everything they could need if they weren't already supplied thanks to Shigeru's crazed run in the mall last week. Although perhaps it was better to use the things she was used to already before taking out the new ones. Arm sneaking around his face snapped him back into the present, the warm smile Kentaro gave him allowing him to move again.
No overthinking, love. It's alright. Look how content she is when you hold her.
He gently pinched Aiko's chubby cheek, making her babble and hide against Shigeru's shoulder. I don't think she likes that.
Too bad. She's too cute to resist.
So, is that how you treat a lady? Come on, Aiko, we have places to be. In a sudden strike of childish behavior, he stuck his tongue out and ostentatiously ignored Kentaro's snicker as he walked along the gravel path to their home. Bruno welcomed them the moment he opened the door, his tail wagging wildly and the low huffs as he jumped up a bit to sniff the newcomer telling of his excitement. Like the well-behaved pup he was, he listened to Shigeru's command to saddle and waited patiently until Shigeru squatted down to let them meet properly. Good boy, Bruno. You have one more person to guard now, you know?
He's as ready as ever.
He scratched Bruno behind his ear, earning an affirmative bark.
Well, if we have anything to go by, you two will be the most guarded people around here.
That's good. One less thing to worry about.
He shivered, just imagining the history repeating itself when he had a baby with him, making him nauseous.
He caressed Aiko's cheek, a silent promise to never let anything happen to her, no matter the price, resonating through his mind. Should we check if she likes her room? The gentlest of kisses landed on his lips when he got up, yet the way Kentaro cupped his cheek, speaking of certain urgency, maybe a silent promise too. But before he could think about it more, the smile was back on Kentaro's face, and a second later, he was being tucked forward into the house.
We sure should. Though I don't think there's anything not to love. You know, since you painted it.
What if she doesn't like blue?
Come on, have you seen her? She's obsessed with blue. And if she ever changes her opinion, so what?
He kissed Shigeru's cheek, sending pleasant shivers through his skin.
The important thing is that the room was made for her with love.
Aiko babbled something again, but she seemed to agree despite probably not understanding what was being said that much. Or maybe she did. Shigeru wouldn't put it past her at all. But Kentaro was right, as usual. They could always repaint the room into whatever color their little girl wanted. Change was often a good thing.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. So we finally have our second baby in the family. And I'm quite excited about this storyline, or this plot point, let's say. I like giving KyouHaba their little family, even though the kid isn't biologically theirs, since this isn't Omegaverse. No drama coming up, definitely. And now we are just waiting for the third. Any more? Who knows? Maybe. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time.